everybody, it's me, Edward Jones, back with a new video. Self-Reliance, Homesteading and Prepping. I figured I'd do a video like this after I read two articles online which are about homesteading versus prepping, and I figured I'd do a video where I give my thoughts on the information that I've gathered from my own personal life and from the articles I've read. Now, what is homesteading? For those of you who don't know, homesteading is more of a return to the old way of doing things. Living off the land, growing your own food, storing your own food, raising animals, or is also called animal husbandry. Certain arts and crafts, making clothing, and growing plants, things like that. Just living a more simpler lifestyle that's more related to nature. Some could call it holistic in a sense. Even in terms of making your own medicines through various use of herbs and other things that you will find out in nature. Now compare that to prepping. Prepping is basically the general preparedness for an emergency situation, whether it's storm related or rather nature or man-made. Like what we talk about with economic collapses or power grid failure, severe storms, social uprisings, social collapse, government run amok, things like that, and just having storage of supplies set aside to get you through hard times until a sense of normalcy is restored. If those definitions don't help you out, I figured I'd use some props to this video. This would represent homesteading. This is a simple gardening shovel, and this is prepping. This is an e-tool, and it has many multiple uses. As you can see, I've used this recently. Another one I want to do. Homesteading. This is just a regular oven mitt that I stick on my kitchen, and you can see it's soft. It's very decorative. This is mainly for the Christmas holiday. But it's in our house. It's for general use. Prepping. This is a welding glove. These are one of my gloves. It's not really pretty. But it's very durable. I've used this repeatedly when these were too dainty. If I had to handle some hot stuff in the kitchen. These will get the job done a lot. Maybe a little bit better. They're more durable than leather rather than this cotton material. But yeah, I figured I'd use some props just to show the difference between the two. But that doesn't mean that they can't work hand in hand. One article I read is a bit of poking fun at preppers. It was a homesteading website, and it's kind of making fun of preppers, saying they were anxious about zombies and just the collapse of the world, an apocalypse mindset, compared to the nice, friendly, holistic way of living that homesteaders subscribe to. But what I did like about the article is that it suggested that they both, in a sense, they may need each other someday. You may have preppers who need to learn various skills from homesteading, and while homesteaders may be able to see the advantage to having certain items stocked up or caring for different issues like the ones that preppers deal with, mainly with current events, the economy, defense, things like that. And I want to bring up a point that Irish made in the video, or Hibernia's son, did a video called "Hippies with Guns," and I'm on the same page with him. Pretty much, if you're into this kind of thing, homesteading or prepping, you have the mindset of someone who want to be more self-sufficient, who want to be more self-reliant. Uh, he was saying it was a kind of a contrast from the term from the hippies of the '60s. They were the same. They were the same way of thinking. They didn't have the firepower that today's preppers have. So, and I guess we are seen as you said before, we're a counterculture. We're different from what most people are doing. We conduct our lives in a different way than most people do in their day-to-day lives. But that doesn't mean that homesteaders and preppers can't kind of work together. In fact, I would say that they both need each other. Let's say something bad happens. The fecal matter hit the oscillating impeller, and you have all these various groups, all these various communities who are trying to reestablish whether they're going back to the old way of doing things, or rather the recent way of doing things, or maybe have a new life started, maybe based on the old world where we may not have complex machines, but we have simple machines that can get simple tasks done. They can't do it as efficiently, but they still can get the job done. It probably take some manual labor or some basic machining skills. And I think preppers and homesteaders, along with many other groups like hobbyists, farmers, machinists, people who specialize in wildlife. I believe groups like that can come together. Can actually rebuild. Maybe not in the getting things back online in a sense, but get the ball rolling again. Get us back in touch with nature. In terms of homesteading, preppers can learn how to take care of animals, how to raise animals instead of just hunting everything that's out there. They can learn how to raise animals. They can learn how to plant things. They can learn how to fix clothing or even graft plants. A lot of these things homesteaders can teach to others who don't necessarily have those skills. Machinists, they can teach people how to take certain tools and how to work scrap metal into something new, something useful, which I'm pretty sure both homesteaders and preppers can appreciate. They can appreciate that knowledge. There are many books out there that will teach you how to make certain things. If you have some scrap metal out there, you can let your imagination run wild. You have the right tools. You can make new tools. You can build things that will be useful. Should electricity be out. And touching back with homesteaders, they can learn a thing or two from preppers as well. Understand what homesteading is. A lot of them like to find holistic ways, holistic medicine, using herbs and things like that to help with certain illnesses. Well, let's say those herbs aren't available. A homesteader can learn from a prepper what medicines that are used on animals that could be used on humans, or what certain techniques that can be used, what certain first aid techniques that can be used to help a homesteader that may be injured. And also, it's funny to point out that I noticed that a lot of on both sites, it mentioned that homesteaders weren't really that into defense or security in terms of against other people. They tend to want to guard their chickens from foxes or other pests that are out there that will try to get to them. So they have maybe some 22s, but maybe not necessarily an AR-15 or an AK variant. Well, let's say things do fall apart, and you have a homestead going, but you have all this land, you have all these animals, you have all these plants. The problem is you have no way of defending them. How will you defend them from someone who's determined to take what you have because it all looks nice to them, and you don't look like the kind of person that's gonna total Roscoe with them everywhere they go. So they're gonna take advantage of that. Well, I believe homesteaders can learn from preppers in the sense of how important security is. it maybe not even when if things have fallen apart, but just as things are right now. I mean, there are bad people among us. I don't think we should sweep that under the rug because it doesn't seem natural to us. The thing is, the world is full of dangerous things. You maybe one day be using your Mini 14 to protect against foxes, and you may have to just take that 5-round magazine out, put a 30-round mag in, and get your bandolier and defend your homestead. So those are some things that are out there. Machinists can teach preppers how to make certain tools to work on their guns or whatever gizmos they have. And preppers can teach machinists basic first aid. If you get cut working on a certain tool, it's the best way to bandage it. So essentially, I believe a lot of groups, and I say machinists because that's just one that came off the top of my head. I guess they will fall under the category of mechanics. Because I know a lot of guys out there who are mechanics, and they rather work on their own things, rather fix their own cars or bikes or guns or whatever, rather than have to take to a shop to have someone else have someone else work on it and pay them. They fall under that category of people who want to be more self-reliant. I think we have all those little groups of self-reliant minded people. They can do pretty well no matter what life throws at them. I think it just takes it takes open-mindedness. First we all have to be open-minded. We're self-reliant, but we also have to understand that we can't do everything. There's still things out there that we will fall short on. And it wouldn't hurt to team up with the right people with the right mind and of a good heart and a strong back, because that's how should something happen, or even just the way things are going on nowadays, we all need each other. So it's good to connect with people like that. Whether you're a homesteader, I'm in South Carolina, so whether you're a homesteader in the upstate, you're a prepper here in the capital, or you work at a factory somewhere else, so you have your own garage, or you're a hobbyist and you like to put together small things, and you have these skills to help you take care of things by yourself, but you may not have everything that you may need should something happen. So it's good to network with different groups. Because I'm pretty sure all of us will whatever life throws at us, we want to make sure we're able to come out on top. Not just that, but also help others along the way who may be of the same mind, sound heart, and strong back like we are. So it's good for us to make connections with people like that who are like-minded. And and they may come up it's meeting new people. I understand there's some preppers out there that may be a bit turned off to the animal husbandry side of homesteading. There may be some homesteaders out there that could be turned off to the guns and gear side of prepping. But in the end, go in with an open mind. I believe both groups or multiple groups will see that there's a benefit to having each little piece of those groups to that one big puzzle. And that's how we'll make it. I believe that's how we'll make it. Should anything happen? But these are my thoughts. Tell me what you think. Please leave a comment in the comment section. Please check out the articles that are included in the description box. If you agree with what I said, cool. If you disagree, well, please let it be known in the comment section. I just ask you to be civil to anyone else who leave comments on this video. But that's my video. I'm Edward Jones. You have a blessed day.